As the Social Services Director, I get the opportunity to oversee our homeless services that we provide here in San Diego County. It's important to recognize that homelessness does make mental health conditions worse, and that there's many ways that people can have mental health problems as they experience homelessness. It's not uncommon for them to have issues with PTSD. A lot of them are going to struggle with anxiety or depression. You will have some bipolar. A lot of times mental health issues that are causing them to be homeless are the ones that require actual medication and longer term work with a therapist or counselor to be able to manage their condition. It's such an intentional process of building a relationship with someone who's experiencing homelessness so that they can trust you, that you actually do have their best interests at heart and you're actually trying to lead them down a path that will help them. One of the saddest things is that they're often ignored. So most people don't want to acknowledge that they're having to walk by someone who's homeless. So they oftentimes feel invisible. So that most of their day is just acknowledging that no one wants to look at them. There's a lot of times just being able to do things that we're used to, they can't do. And so it causes a deterioration because they're having to just figure out how those basic survival things. We know that we're interconnected. We know that we're complex, that our mental and physical are combined. When we know, just when we missed a meal or when we haven't had a good nutritious meal, we know that impacts our well-being. Well, when that's continual, where every day you're trying to figure out what you're going to eat, or the access to food you have is not necessarily healthy, well, that just compounds their well-being issues that they have to wrestle with. Oftentimes, when they are dealing with mental health issues, our team really does a good job when they're in our programs, in our housing, to work with them, to help them feel safe, feel connected. For some people, the simple act of empathy, you see an immediate change. Just the fact that they go, oh wow, someone cares about me, has an immediate impact and an immediate uplift. But for someone to really, if they get properly connected to treatment and are really doing that process can take months, just because of getting regulated, getting the right balance of medication and support. That element takes time, but empathy and caring can have immediate short-term gains and impacts on a person's well-being. I have the privilege of having people who really are on the front lines that I work with, and I get to hear their stories. And just recently we had a family, very significant issues, and everything from our counselor, our licensed clinical social worker who was working with the mom, to our resident assistant who is just able to be a listening ear, to our director who is helping navigate all of the issues with the family. We really were able to create as safe an environment as possible. So I think the most important thing is to remember we are all human. And second, that if they're struggling with a mental health issue, there are things that are outside of their control, and that the best thing we can do is be a calming presence and make sure that they're connected to the right support and the right resources. So that's always a great start. But also then just asking them their name, recognizing, seeing them, actually acknowledging them. Those can be incredibly powerful because it just enables them to be reconnected to their humanity and know that someone actually saw them and someone cared enough to say hi to them. Stop by our downtown location, which is at the corner of 7th and F, and ask for our homeless outreach team.